market structures and price determination. So firstly, we should know the meaning of market. A market is any one of a variety of different systems, institutions, procedures, social relations and infrastructures whereby persons, trade and goods and services are exchanged, forming part of the economy. It is an arrangement that allows buyers and sellers to exchange things. Competition is essential in markets and separates market from trade. A market is a body of persons in such commercial relations that each can easily acquaint himself with the rates at which certain kinds of exchanges of goods or services are from time to time made by the others. A market can be classified as under the following heads. Classification by area. We categorize markets into local markets, regional markets, national markets, and international markets. Classification by the nature of transactions. We can classify the markets on the basis of nature of transactions into two broad categories, the spot market and the futures market. Classification by the volume of business. On the basis of the volume of business, the markets are broadly classified into wholesale and retail markets. Classification on the basis of time. Sometimes the time element is used to classify the markets. The time is classified as very short period and long period. Classification by the status of sellers. On the basis of the status of sellers, the markets are broadly classified into three categories: primary, secondary, and terminal markets. Classification by the nature of competition. The most important form of market classification is based on the nature of competition, that is, the buyer-seller interaction. The competition in the market depends upon three main factors: substitutability factor, interdependence factor, ease of entry factor. After studying this lesson, you should be able to define market, classify a market on various parameters, analyze various forms of markets, understand the concept of price determination under short run and long run. Now we can discuss various forms of market structure. They can be classified as perfect competition, imperfect competition, monopoly. Perfect competition occurs in markets in which no participant has market power. The degree to which a market or industry can be described as competitive depends in part on how many suppliers are seeking the demand of consumers and the ease with which new businesses can enter and exit a particular market in the long run. The spectrum of competition from where there are many sellers, each of whom has little or no control over the market price, is called a perfect competition market. Imperfect competition is the competitive situation in any market where the conditions necessary for perfect competitions are not satisfied. It is a market structure that does not meet the conditions of perfect competition. Forms of imperfect competition include monopoly, in which there is only one seller of a good; oligopoly, in which there is a small number of sellers; monopolistic competition, in which there are many sellers producing highly differentiated goods; monopsony, in which there is only one buyer of a good; oligopsony, in which there is a small number of buyers; and at last, monopoly means the existence of a single producer or seller which is producing or selling a product which has no close substitutes. As such, it is an extreme form of imperfect competition. We can take a quick view by watching this table. Now let's discuss equilibrium in the firm under different variables. Equilibrium of the firm by marginal revenue and marginal cost. Mathematical derivation of the equilibrium of a firm. Firm is said to be in equilibrium when it has no tendency either to increase or to contract its output. firm's equilibrium level of output will lie where its money profits are maximum. Now, profits are the difference between total revenue and total cost. So in order to be in equilibrium, the firm will attempt to maximize the difference between total revenue and total cost. An old method of explaining the equilibrium of a firm is to draw the total revenue and the total cost curves of the firm and locate the maximum profit point. But with the appearance of marginality revolution, equilibrium of a firm is explained with the aid of marginal revenue and marginal cost curves. The monopolist's profit maximizing level of output is found by equating its marginal revenue with its marginal cost, which is the same profit maximizing condition that a perfectly competitive firm uses to determine its equilibrium level of output. Indeed, the condition that marginal revenue equal marginal cost is used to determine the profit maximizing level of output of every firm, regardless of the market structure in which the firm is operating. After watching the diagram, we can understand that equality between marginal revenue and marginal cost is a necessity, but not a sufficient condition of the firm's equilibrium. The second order condition requires that for a firm to be in equilibrium, marginal cost curve must cut marginal revenue curve from below at the point of equilibrium. Mathematical derivation of the equilibrium of a firm can be derived by the equation P equals to R minus C, where P equals to profit, R equals to TR, C equals to TC. After this discussion comes on price determination, that is equilibrium between demand and supply. Equilibrium means a state of equality or a state of balance between market demand and supply. Without a shift in demand and/or supply, there will be no change in market price. In the diagram, the quantity demanded and supplied at price P1 are equal. At any price above P1, supply exceeds demand, and at a price below P1, demands exceed supply. In other words, prices where demand and supply are out of balance are termed points of disequilibrium. Changes in the conditions of demand or supply will shift the demand or supply curves. This will cause changes in the equilibrium price and quantity in the market. We can see the same in the diagram. Now the last topic for discussion is time element in the theory of price. It can be explained under three heads: determination of market price, determination of short-run price, determination of long-run normal price. So let's start with discussion on determination of market price. When buyers and sellers come into a market, each buyer has in mind the maximum price he will pay for a good, while each seller on his part has determined on a minimum price. Provided nothing occurs to change these determinations, no exchange will take place unless the maximum price of the buyer is equal to or greater than the minimum price of the seller. Here, then, is the most fundamental notion in the determination of market price. In the short period, price is determined by the forces of demand and supply. The point of equilibrium is located where demand and supply curves intersect. In the short period, the firms will keep on producing even if they are not able to cover the average total cost, but are able to cover only the average variable cost. If they stop production, they will be losing their fixed cost. The equilibrium price in the short period is called the short period normal price, which is determined by the intersection of the short period normal supply and the normal demand curves. Long-run price is also known as normal price. It is determined by long-run equilibrium between demand and supply, when the supply conditions have fully adjusted to the given demand conditions. Given the demand, a price will tend to prevail in the long run when the supply has fully adjusted, and that the price is known as the long-run price or normal price. Now let us check if we have understood the various concepts discussed in this lesson clearly. Perfect competition is a market structure characterized by a complete absence of rivalry among the individual firms. Right or wrong? Right. Existence of a single producer or seller which is producing or selling a product which has no close substitutes defines imperfect competition. Right or wrong? Wrong. Oligopoly is a market form in which there is a small number of sellers. Right or wrong? Right. Let's revise the whole concept. Since every economic activity in the market is measured as per price, it is important to know the concepts and theories related to pricing under various market forms. By categorizing markets in terms of their basic characteristics, it may be possible to identify a limited number of market structures that can be used to analyze decision making. Perfect competition is said to prevail where there is a large number of producers, firms producing a homogeneous product. Imperfect competition is an important market category where individual firms exercise control over the price to a smaller or larger degree depending upon the degree of imperfection present in a case. Monopoly means the existence of a single producer or seller which is producing or selling a product which has no close substitutes.